राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुनतीरा वनचारी यमुनतीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुनतीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम
कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम
जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय
गौरानिताय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवचर स्तोत्र शत श्री डिवाइन ग्रेस चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय ISKCON founder आचार्य ब्यूटी फर्नीचर से विद होल वर्ल्ड जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव विंद की जय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9. Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. Text 11. Krita agasam tam prarudantam akshini. Krita agasam tam prarudantam akshini. Kashantam anjat mashini swapanina. Kashantam anjan mashini swapanina. Udvikshamanam bhaya vifvala ikshanam. Udvikshamanam bhaya vihvalekshanam. Haste grihitva vishayanti avagurat. Haste grihitva vishayanti avagurat. Kritagasam tam prarudantam akshini. Kashantamanjan mashini swapanina. Udvikshamanam bhaya vihvalekshanam. Haste grihitva vishayantyavagurat. Kritagasam tam prarudantam akshini. Kashantamanjan mashini swapanina. Udvikshamanam bhaya vihvalekshanam. Haste grihitva vishayantyavagurat. Krita agasam, who was an offender, tam, onto Lord Krishna. Prarudantam, with a crying attitude. Akshini, his two eyes. Kashantam, rubbing. Anjat mashini, from whose eyes the blackish ointment was distributed all over his face with tears. Swapanina, with his own hand. udvikshamanam, who was seen in that attitude by Mother Yashoda, Bhaya Vihvala Ikshanam, whose eyes appeared distressed because of such fear of his mother, Haste, by the hand, Grihitva, catching, Vishayanti, Mother Yashoda was threatening him, Avagurat, and thus she very mildly chastised him. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhai Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. When caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to being an offender. As she looked upon him, she saw that he was crying, his tears mixing with the black ointment around his eyes. And as he rubbed his eyes with his hands, he smeared the ointment all over his face. Mother Yashoda, catching her beautiful son by the hand, mildly began to chastise him. Can you repeat the translation? When caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to being an offender. As she looked upon him, she saw that he was crying, his tears mixing with the black ointment around his eyes. And as he rubbed his eyes with his hands, he smeared the ointment all over his face. Mother Yashoda, catching her beautiful son by the hand, mildly began to chastise him. Purport. From these dealings between Mother Yashoda and Krishna, we can understand the exalted position of a pure devotee in loving service to the Lord. Yogis, Jnanis, Karmis and Vedantists cannot even approach Krishna. They must remain very, very far away from him and try to enter his bodily effulgence, although this also they are unable to do. Great demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva always worship the Lord by meditation and by service. Even the most powerful Yamaraj fears Krishna. Therefore, as we find in the history of Ajamila, Yamaraj instructed his followers not even to approach the devotees, what to speak of capturing them. In other words, Yamaraj also fears Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Yet, this Krishna became so dependent on Mother Yashoda that when she simply showed Krishna the stick in her hand, Krishna admitted to being an offender and began to cry like an ordinary child. Mother Yashoda, of course, did not want to chastise her beloved child very much, and therefore she immediately threw her stick away and simply rebuked Krishna, saying, "Now I shall bind you so that you cannot commit any further offensive activities, nor for the time being can you play with your playmates." This shows the position of a pure devotee in contrast with others like Jnanis, Yogis, and the followers of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies in regarding the transcendental nature of the absolute truth. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translation to Canto 10, Chapter 9, Text 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. These chapters of Bhagavatam, particularly in the 10th canto, describes the very, very intimate, loving relationship between Lord Krishna and his pure devotees. What kind of life one can see in the spiritual world, in the spiritual planets. What kind of transactions, what kind of activities, what kind of daily routines are there between the Lord and his devotees. Just like in this material world, we have our routines, isn't it? We get up in the morning, we get ready, we go to work or college or any such mundane activities. So everybody is tied up with so many routine material activities, and which are also the cause of bondage and misery and anxiety, because material activities bring in anxiety and bring in misery. But here in contrast we see spiritual life in spiritual world, every single day, how it is filled with, completely free from anxiety, full of joy, and in direct relationship with the Lord. Every living being has a direct relationship with Krishna. And what is that relationship like? Little idea we can get from these pastimes. We can see between Mother Yashoda and Krishna the kind of transactions between them and the kind of detail which Shukadeva Goswami gives. We are so fortunate to hear these descriptions. Krishna also, whatever leelas are going on between him and his devotees, he manifests, presents some of them out of his causeless mercy in this material world, in our planet. Of course, the Lord also appears in other planets, in his other incarnations. But Krishna's pastimes are very unique and very special. Particularly, the pastimes of the Lord as the personality of God Krishna reveals the complete manifestation of the Absolute Truth's activities and Absolute Truth's nature, original nature. We get some idea. Otherwise, in the Upanishads and the Vedas, if you see the descriptions of the Absolute Truth, it is largely impersonal. The Vedas and Upanishads do not focus on the personal qualities or personal transcendental qualities of the Lord. And therefore, we really don't get an idea about the Lord's personal features. So the Vedas and the Upanishads do not touch much upon personal features, personal form, personal qualities, personal attributes, personal traits. Does not talk much about the details of the Vaikuntha planets, the situation of the Vaikuntha planets, and the devotees there in the spiritual world, and the Lord's activities in the spiritual world, these things are not much discussed in the Vedas and Upanishads, because they're primarily focused on purifying the conditioned soul. First, from material identity. And then to give an idea about the Lord's transcendental feature, beginning with Brahman. At least appreciate that the Supreme is completely spiritual, not material. Not material. His form is spiritual, but the way the Upanishads and Vedas explain is, his form is spiritual, but they don't give a direct indication. Like the Lord having a peacock feather on his head, he carrying a flute with him always, he carrying a stick to control the cows, he having a blackish blue tinged or blackish blue hued body. His body is bent in 3 places. So these descriptions are not there in the Vedas. These are very personal, very, very confidential. So for that, one has to become qualified. Even to know the description of Krishna, the form of Krishna, one has to be qualified. If one is not, therefore the impersonal description. Just like in the students also, in our studies also, you don't go to advanced studies straight away. First of all, basics. Once you are thorough with the basics, then advanced lessons are being taught. There is a standard procedure in any system of education. You take any subject. Similarly in profession also. Suppose you say, you give me in charge, I will control the whole factory. Nobody is going to give you the factory. So first of all, you know the basics. You get to know all the basics of the works. Build up your foundation. So like that, the Vedas also are preparing the conditioned souls, first of all to purify our existence, our identity, purify our life, purify our thoughts, purify our senses. Because with these contaminated senses, thoughts, perceptions, dealings, the Supreme is far, far away from these contaminations. You cannot even approach. Upanishad says, Shuddham apapa vidyam. The Lord is completely pure. Completely pure. You cannot approach Him anywhere near unless you are 100% purified. Not even 99%. 99% is not enough. 100% one must be thoroughly purified to approach Krishna or the Vaikuntha planet. 100%. Nothing less. And our position is that at 100% we are completely influenced materially by the 3 modes, by the material nature, completely controlled. So what is our hope to even get into the understanding of Krishna? So we are not even qualified to know the personal form of the Lord, personal leelas of the Lord, personal qualities of the Lord, to know about the devotees in Vaikuntha and forget their interactions and leelas. We are not qualified actually for those subjects. We are not qualified. So therefore, purification is of utmost importance in our present condition. Therefore, primarily the Vedas and Upanishads talk more on purification, therefore more on austerities, sadhana, penances. But that's the initial phase. It is not that whole life it is going to be sadhana, penances, austerity, difficulty. It's not that whole life it is going to be like that. When we approach a bona fide spiritual master and follow the sadhana process given by him, sincerely and seriously, then we begin to purify our senses, our existence, our consciousness. And the more one purifies, more one becomes spiritually elevated, advanced. So that depends on the student ultimately. Just like when you join any educational institution, how quickly you complete your degree is in your hand. In 21 years, you are expected to complete a degree, or 22 years. Some degrees 23 years. But somebody may drag even to 28 years, because some classes, they will stay 2 to 3 years. So like that, if you keep delaying, then it takes time. Some of them may drop off also in 8th standard only. Some of them may drop off in 5th standard. Then there is no progress, isn't it? So like that, it depends on the student in spiritual life, how he makes quick progress. And if one is very eager to enter into the pastimes of Krishna and participate in the pastimes of Krishna, which is the perfectional stage of the jiva. We want the perfectional stage of the jiva right now. How is it possible? With contaminated senses. Not possible. So one has to gradually make progress and follow the direction of the spiritual master. Not deviate from that. That is very important. Just like students who study very nicely from their teacher and are very thorough with the basics and the foundations, they become very good students. But if they are not very clear with the foundation, with the concepts, with the basics, they are not very good students. They really don't grow much. They may even get degrees. Mostly it is, they'll be theoretical. Maybe they must have mucked it up. Maybe some good karma memory is there, that's all. Good karma memory, that's all. Not otherwise. Similarly, in spiritual life also, students who follow the direction of the spiritual master very nicely, they will develop their spiritual life very nicely. Very nicely. So sadhana bhakti is only the first part. Then there is the raganuga bhakti. So these pastimes of Krishna, especially in the 10th canto, are actually enacted on the raganuga platform. And in the raganuga platform, in the platform of prema, which is the highest stage of spiritual perfection. And the devotees in the spiritual world, especially Krishna Loka. Because Mother Yashoda Nanda Maharaj, they are actually from Krishna Loka, which in the scriptures, it is described as the topmost Vaikuntha. Krishna Loka is the highest Vaikuntha Loka. It's also Vaikuntha only. Categorized in the Vaikuntha plane, they are all Vaikuntha zone. So in that, Krishna Loka is the highest planet. So their residents, eternal residents, like we have this, in America we have this permanent residency, PR status we say. So like that they have the PR status in Goloka, Krishna Loka. Who? Yashoda Nanda Maharaj. And when Krishna comes down to this world, they also come down to this world. To take part in the Lord's pastimes, to assist the Lord in His pastimes. So they are not at all residents of this world. They are not sadhana siddhas. They are nitya siddhas. So this brings to the understanding of what is siddha. What is this term siddha I used? Siddha means perfectional stage of the living being, which is the original status of every jiva. The perfectional status of the jiva in the spiritual world, in the Vaikuntha planets. Every jiva is spiritually perfect. Every spirit soul is spiritually perfect. But having come under the influence of the material modes, has become contaminated. Therefore, the whole endeavor is to become purified and reinstate ourselves to the spiritual status, which we originally possess. That is Satchid Ananda status. Satchidananda status. And as the proud, eternal, loving part and parcel of Krishna. But unfortunately, have forgotten that and have fallen to this material world. So, therefore, we have to work to achieve perfection, to achieve our original status. We have to work back. So that is called sadhana siddha. Those who work for spiritual perfection through sadhana, some rules, regulations, purificatory methods, some do's and don'ts, you follow all of those guidelines, very soon you become purified. And then you can achieve complete perfection of once again becoming a loving part and parcel, loving devotee, loving servant of Krishna or Vishnu. Both are same. So that's called sadhana siddha. So when you achieve perfection, that means when you awaken to eternal reality, original reality. What is that? I am a spirit soul and not just a spirit soul. That's not complete realization. I'm a spirit soul and part and parcel of Krishna. I have a connection with Vishnu, Krishna. That is complete self-realization. Self-realization is not complete only by realizing the self. In fact, there's no possibility of realizing the self without realizing one's connection with the Lord. Somebody who thinks I'm self-realized and does not know his connection with Vishnu or is engaged in seva to Vishnu actually is not at all self-realized, although he thinks so. Maninaha. This is the word used by Shukadeva Goswami in the 10th canto. Maninaha. He thinks, he imagines that he is self-realized. No. Self-realization means God realization. And God realization includes self-realization. Means realizing the self as loving part and parcel of Krishna. This is complete self-realization. So by sadhana, what the acharyas have prescribed, because this sadhana process cannot be created or manufactured by us. It has to be given by the acharya or a direction from the shastra. It cannot be manufactured. We cannot create our own standards of spiritual practices or sadhana. No, not possible. They have to be taken from the acharyas or from the shastras. From the shastra also, again we require an acharya because there are different directions of shastra based on desha, kala, patra. So which one are you going to pick up? Which one are you going to pick up? Which mantra you will pick up? Which rule you will pick up? Which standard you will pick up? Which methodology you will pick up? Who is going to decide? This is the dilemma where most people miss out. Therefore, the secret is you follow the acharya. That is the secret of spiritual life. Simplest secret of spiritual life. But most people miss out. Either people are atheists or they are theists, pious people, but they pick up their own methods. As though it's a supermarket and then you pick up your own product. Supermarket of mantras, procedures. No, there's no such thing like that. It is very precise, very definite. Very definite. That is why there is a need for the acharya. Otherwise Krishna comes, Vishnu comes, Lord Vayaha comes, Narasimhadev comes, they are given instructions, they have gone. But what about the practical direction and the application in the present context? This brings the necessity of the acharya. Other people may think, why acharya? Why do you require an acharya? Krishna has already spoken. Bhagavad Gita I will refer. Therefore there is one sect among the practitioners of spiritual life. They say, we don't read Puranas. We directly read Veda. Because God has spoken Veda directly. They go to such an extent, they will not even read Bhagavad Gita. Very strange. Because they consider Bhagavad Gita as part of Mahabharata, an Itihasa, not an original Veda. So very strange. So they only take Veda seriously. Vedas and Upanishads, that's all. There's one sect of people among the spiritual practitioners. So they have not understood the Vedas and their essence properly because they failed to learn the Veda from an Acharya. This is the defect of not learning from an Acharya. We will concoct our own ideas and interpretations of how to study Veda, what is Upanishad, what is the conclusion of Upanishad. We will have our own imaginations, our own conclusions. And as many people, readers, that many conclusions will erupt or evolve. You see? Although the conclusion is one, that I have described day before yesterday. Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, Vedesha sarvair aham eva vedyaha. Krishna is saying the goal, the conclusion, the target of all the Vedas is me. Directly Krishna is saying to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. And yet people miss out. There's a chapter in the Bhagavatam in this very canto, 10th canto, later chapter. The chapter itself is called Prayers by Personified Vedas. We should read that chapter. It is the biggest chapter in the 10th canto. The biggest chapter in the 10th canto. Runs into volumes of pages. Vedas themselves are praying. Actually, it is personified by Vedas, prayers by personified Vedas, where Vedas are praying to Krishna. Veda Rupa, Veda Pratyaksha Rupa, Veda personality. So she is offering prayer to Krishna. Krishna, my scriptures are insufficient to understand you and glorify you unless you show your mercy, is the essence of the entire thing. There are many, many interesting points are there. So Vedas are also not able to comprehend Krishna. And this is admitted by Vedas only. It's not anybody's version, not even the Acharyas. Vedas themselves are admitting. We are incompetent to understand you, my Lord. What to speak of us? We are ordinary persons, or at most doing sadhana. What is our hope to understand Krishna? And forget Krishna's intimate pastimes with his devotees, like Mother Yashoda, which is very, very confidential. Not to be spoken, not to be discussed. It is not meant for common man. The Leela of Krishna actually is not meant for common man. It is only Bhagavad Gita. That is why when Krishna began his teachings, he began with the Bhagavad Gita. Did Krishna begin to Arjuna directly with his pastimes in Vrindavan or in Dwaraka? And did Krishna talk about his Rasa Leela to Arjuna? Even to a personality like Arjuna, Krishna didn't speak Rasa Leela. We don't see that. And we want to jump into Rasa Leela. Krishna didn't speak about he stealing butter and Mother Yashoda binding him, chastising him. He didn't tell those things to Arjuna. Why did he not tell? Arjuna is not qualified. And we are qualified. Have you thought over that? So therefore, the idea is, Arjuna is qualified, no doubt about that. But Arjuna has taken the position of a common man. Common man is not a liberated soul or an associate of the Lord. So taking the position of a common man, Arjuna is presenting his struggle in this world. And Krishna is helping him out to come out of the struggle of this world, material life. His confusion about his duty. What is duty exactly, according to Krishna? Now, Vedas are also describing what is duty. And Krishna is also describing what is duty and what is the difference. And that's what Krishna himself speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, and which most people again miss out. Therefore they become confused. What is duty? According to Krishna. And what is duty according to the Vedas? There's a difference. Vedas present only preliminary duties. And Krishna presents the topmost duty. And more than duty, Krishna goes to the platform of love. But in the Bhagavad Gita, it does not talk about love. He only talks about surrendering. Because unless we surrender, actually speaking, we don't even begin spiritual life. The first step in spiritual life is surrenderance. That's the beginning. That's the beginning. When Krishna says Sarvadharmam Parityaja, that's actually the beginning. But that is the last conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. So for Krishna to bring the rebellious soul to the point of surrenderance itself, the whole Gita has to be spoken. That's why no Bhagavatam in Bhagavad Gita. No pastimes. Because the soul is not ready. He has his own plans. His own ideas of doing things. Materially, even spiritually. Even spiritually. He has his own way of doing things. His own way of japa, his own way of sankirtan, his own way of worshipping, his own way of mantra, his own way of spiritual practices. See, that same mentality continues even in spiritual life. Mentality doesn't change, you see. That requires purification. So unless we have bona fide practices given by the Acharya, purification does not take place actually. So we have to become very sharp in all these things. Very fine in all these things. We can actually see all these things. Those who follow the Acharya, those who do not follow the Acharya, can clearly see all these things. Under the Acharya's guidance, you get to know such fine things and become very sensitive to many details. But without Acharya, one assumes that he is advanced, he is well situated, but far away from purification. And what is purification? And what is the symptom of purification? And how do you detect that one is purified? How do you detect that one has become a devotee? What are the symptoms? What are the checks and balances? See, these are all the things which we clearly learn from the Acharya. That is why we require an Acharya, not just the Veda. Veda is sufficient if you are qualified. Technically speaking, Veda is sufficient. You don't require Acharya, technically speaking, because Krishna himself is the original Acharya. That is there. But we are not qualified to understand the Veda or the Upanishad directly. Therefore, the Lord very kindly sends His own representative called the Acharya to this world to make us understand. And also to make us practice the unchanging Vedic principles in the changing circumstances of material existence. So this is the key strategic role the Acharya plays. Otherwise, it is not possible to practice the Vedic principles. Many of them will think it is outdated. Maybe, Prabhu, it was valid those days, not now. Most of the things, they take it like that. If at all they have respect for Vedas, they don't condemn Vedas. If at all they don't condemn Vedas, then they'll say, Prabhu, these are all outdated. That doesn't work now. He does not know how it works even now. Every Vedic principle of it works, he does not know. Therefore, the Acharya is needed. So, now having said all that, it is not that we are not qualified to take part in Krishna's pastime. We are fully qualified. Forget hearing Yashoda and Krishna Leela. We can also be part of that Leela, is what the Acharyas are promising us, is what Krishna is promising, is what Bhagavatam is promising. That is an important revelation of Bhagavatam. Even though we have discussed that we are not qualified to even to discuss these pastimes, not to discourage, but rather to know that how we have to become prepared for this status of life, to directly associate with Krishna. One has to become qualified, not rush or jump. In a very early stage of spiritual life. So therefore, there is a Nitya Siddha, Yashoda, and Nanda Maharaj. They're all eternally liberated souls, eternally perfected beings. They never go into Maya. They are called Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means at no point of time they have forgotten Krishna. And in no point in time they will forget Krishna in future also. There is no possibility for them. They are called Nitya Siddhas. So Nanda Yashoda belong to that category. You see, Sripad Ramanujacharya, Sripad Madhvacharya, they are that category. They not become perfected by doing sadhana. They are Nitya Siddha category. The Lord has sent them directly to this world, not for practicing sadhana. Although in their Leela they might have chanted this, that, all the details are there. You have to relate, no, with them. They have taken birth when mother is there, when father is there. They have gone to school. All that will be there because you have to relate with them. Otherwise you will think, oh, it's a celestial being. Anyway, you don't relate as such. Out of mercy, they also live a common man's life, apparently common man's life. But fortunate souls will take shelter of them. Lord also will reveal that these are not ordinary jivas. They are empowered jivas. They are Nitya Siddhas. Take advantage of them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that some fortunate soul who has acquired sukruti or spiritual credits in his life, knowingly or unknowingly, Krishna will send such a soul to a bona fide spiritual master who will take him to Krishna eventually. So by Krishna's grace you get a bona fide guru, and again by Guru's grace you get Krishna back. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. So that is Nitya Siddha. Like Prabhupada also is a resident of the Goloka Vrindavan Dham. See, bell rang. It means truth. The resident of the spiritual world. And on the dictation and order and request of Krishna, they come to this world to revive our Krishna consciousness through sadhana. So we can become sadhana siddhas. That means we have a sadhana, specific sadhana. Each acharya can design his own sadhana. They are allowed because they are all perfected beings. They are all design engineers, spiritual design engineers. They have different kinds of sadhana. Therefore, that variety is there. Sometimes the Sampradaya people keep fighting. Actually, there is no fighting. All are design engineers from the Vaikuntha planet. So they can have different methodologies. So we are from Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. We have our methodology designed not by us, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by Goswamis. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't design, Goswamis. He entrusted that task to Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And then they entrusted further the task to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then Srila Prabhupada. So we are getting a design directly given by these great Nitya Siddhas from the spiritual world. Similarly, we have the Ramanuja Sampradaya. Ramanujacharya has designed what is the sadhana for them. Narada Muni has designed. You and I cannot design. So we are following a particular sadhana, particular mantra. In our parampara, we have a mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra. The Ramanuja Sampradaya, they have a mantra. Every parampara has got a mantra. You cannot manufacture mantras. It will not work. Rama Krishna Hare Hare, Krishna Rama Hare Hare, it will not work. It will not work. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. It will not work. These are all there. You come to Jagannath Puri, I will take you to them. Better let's not meet them. After having meted a perfected being, Acharya, let's not meet them. So, these mantras will not work. Prabhu, Govinda's name, Krishna's name, Radharani's name, Bhajanitai Gaur, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. This is another, in connection with Gaur Nitai. This is Mayapur, another deviation. It doesn't work. See, bell rang. So we don't want to point out. But at the same time, devotees must know. And they will do 100 times. Bhajanitai Gaur, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. 100 times they will do. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It will not work. Of course, obviously it is not sinful activity. That is understood. But then what is the objection? Prabhu, what is the objection? Bhajanitai Gaur, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda. What could be the possible objection? Tell me. We are interested in Krishna Prema and entry to Vishnu Loka, Krishna Loka. That is not possible. That is not possible. You can be a pious being. That's okay. But you cannot become a resident of Krishna Loka by concocting your own methodologies. That is the defect or the mistake. You have to follow the Acharya. Anugataha. Therefore, Rupa Goswami's first principle is take shelter of the Acharya, like that. So sadhana is there. You do the sadhana. So we have our sadhana. Morning 4:30 Mangalarti is there. Then we have 5 o'clock chanting. Then we have 7:15 Darshanarti. 8 o'clock Bhadam class. 9 o'clock Prasadam. 9:30 our services begin. Again evening we have Sandhyarati. Then again little reading we may do in the night. And take milk and go to bed. This is our sadhana. And seva. And all these things guided by the Acharya and the Vaishnavas. You cannot make your own system. It doesn't work. And Chaitanya Prabhu said, Sadhu Sangha. In the association of devotees, you learn and practice bhakti. Then you will grow very nicely in spiritual life. Under the shelter and guidance and protection of the Vaishnavas and Guru, we practice spiritual life. Then one is sure to make definite progress. But Acharya's guidance is of utmost importance. So in this way, if you follow the sadhana, then you can achieve perfection. It's called sadhana siddha. Narada Muni is one such classic example. In the Bhagavatam itself, Narada Muni himself narrates his own story. How he became a siddha. He was not a siddha. He was ordinary jiva like us. From the Gandharva Loka. He was a resident of Gandharva Loka. His name was Upabarahana. That described in Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva asked, how did you perfect your life? Oh my dear spiritual master. Oh Lord, oh master. Please, if you will, you can reveal. See, that is why. These are such fine things. We will not learn all these things. See how even Vyasadeva and Narada, between them, see the relation? Oh master, oh my Lord. Vyasa addressing Narada. If you so will, if you please, if you wish, if you would like to, cannot demand anything. So that's why I am saying, we practice spiritually, but we don't know the nuances, the fineness in spiritual life. We miss out. So we will have a hard struggle in climbing the ladder in spiritual life. But once you catch these fine things from the Acharya and from their life, if you study minutely, so sensitive they are to each detail. See how Vyasadeva is approaching Narada, how we approach our Guru then. Where is such sensitivity in our approach to Vaishnavas, to Guru, to spiritual life? Nothing. No such sensitivity. Just pick up, okay, maybe Hare Krishna. Okay, we are better than others. But where is the fineness? We say finis. Where is that finis? That's missing. So that way to get into. That's called perfectionism, perfecting our sadhana also. Then perfecting raganuka. First we have to perfect sadhana. I have to get appreciation from the spiritual master. Yes, he is a good sadhaka. Yes, he follows. Yes, he obeys. Yes, he does things very meticulously. Yes, he does the seva very nicely. Yes, he listens. These are elementary. If we can't come to this level, we should forget advanced states of spiritual realizations and spiritual understandings and revelations by the Lord in the heart. The Lord will not manifest revelations in the heart. It will only be theoretical. Lord The other day I was reading one quote, Prabhupada. Prabhupada is telling, the teacher will give more and more lessons, more and more techniques to the students who catch them very quickly. But if the student doesn't catch up, the teacher will not give more lessons. Similarly, Krishna in the heart will not give more revelations and realizations unless you clear basic things. So we should not spend much time. Fatafat, we should finish all the basics. And that should get established in us. And we are still sticking to the basics then. We are not crossed basics only. We are not crossed basics only. So that is not our defect. Sometimes it so happens that some devotees, they think Prabhupada has given only elementary lessons. See how Maya deviates them. When an Acharya from Goloka is coming, Acharya who has complete realization of Radha Krishna Leela, who is also part of Radha Krishna Leela, and they're thinking, he is only presenting elementary things. All the time, I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul, do sadhana. The problem with the student, not the teacher. Problem with the student. Prabhupada said in my books, everything is available. From basics to the most advanced lessons. Sometimes some devotees, they leave ISKCON. After some time, after good time also, thinking, teachings are all very basic here. There is no Radha Krishna Leela being discussed, Radha Bhav, Gopi Bhav being discussed, transcendental emotions, Ashta Satvika Vikara. Have you ever heard any time in Bhagavatam class we describe? First time you are hearing from me at least. Even Maharaj didn't say, I think. Ashta Satvika Vikara. What is that? Oh, Prabhu, what is that, Prabhu? Ashta Satvika Vikara. No, we are not qualified. But not that we are bereft of or we are denied, but we have to qualify. We have to work on that. First the sadhana and the rules in the sadhana. Sadhana does not mean only chanting and reading. Most people again misunderstand. That's why I'm saying so many details are there. You have to go to all the details. Then you go to next level, and we can go. We can discuss even higher subjects. But whether the student is ready, whether his background, his foundation is very strong, perfect, then we will discuss other subjects. That will be the student. So sadhana, most people think sadhana means, okay, chanting, 16 rounds somehow I have to come to, and Bhagavatam class I should hear, reading 1 hour, hear lecture, attend Mangalarti, take prasadam, that's all. That is grossest level of sadhana. Sadhana means millions of things. Millions of things. Even disciplining ourselves is also sadhana. Disciplining under the shelter and guidance of the Acharya. Dasatva, surrenderance is sadhana. Most people don't know. Sarvadam Parichitam, when Krishna says it is surrenderance, it is actually sadhana for us to orient our mind, to agree to what Krishna is saying. Our mind is not agreeing. So that means you're not surrendered. Prabhupada says something, we don't agree. So we're not surrendered. You see? The authority says something, we don't agree. That means we're not surrendered. This is fineness in sadhana. First of all, we have to place absolute faith on the Acharya and Acharya's instruction. Then absolute faith on Krishna's instructions. So much is there to work on. And once you clear off all these things very fastly, meaning you have become steady in that means you will not err again. So these things all has to be seen. Then we go to the next level. So this is called sadhana, and if you perfect all these things, then the spiritual master, one day when he is convinced that you are properly situated, he will reveal you your constitutional position in relationship with Krishna. That is called Siddha Swarupa, or sometimes called as Siddha Pranali. Siddha Pranali means what is your spiritual status, identity. What is your spiritual identity in the spiritual world? Each soul has got a spiritual identity in the spiritual world. Each soul sitting here, not sitting here, each of us have a relationship with Krishna or Vishnu. Every soul has got a relationship. What is that relationship? In case of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, it is their parents of Krishna. There is no parent for the Lord. He is the origin of everything. But that rasa, that relationship, the Lord provides for the jiva, for the devotee. That honor, spiritual status, spiritual honor the Lord provides for his pure devotees. So if we also become pure devotee, then the Guru will reveal to us what is your spiritual identity with Krishna or Vishnu. Not now. That's called Siddha Pranali. But artificially people try to imitate that status. Otherwise there is Sadhana Siddha. This is called Sadhana Siddha. The Guru will reveal you once you perfect your sadhana. So there is Sadhana Siddha, then there is Nitya Siddha. Then third one is Kripa Siddha. Kripa Siddha means by the grace of the Guru, even without following any sadhana or rules and regulations, you perfect your spiritual life. The special grace of the Guru. Or it can also mean because of the special mercy received from the spiritual master, following regulative principles and sadhana becomes very easy. That means he has received special mercy and he has perfected. That is called Kripa Siddha. Kripa Siddha. If you receive special mercy from the Guru, then your sadhana becomes very easy. Or sometimes even without following sadhana, you will go back to Godhead. Like Prabhupada has mentioned, even Bhakti Siddhanta has mentioned, many jivas, they not even uttered Hare Krishna from their mouth even once in their life. But Prabhupada said they gone back to Godhead. There are devotees who have been offensive, and yet Bhakti Maharaj said he has gone back to Godhead. But that is the kripa of the Acharya, prerogative of the Acharya, Kripa Siddha. They have such potency, such decisive powers. Lord has empowered them with. But nonetheless, we don't have to worry much about it. If you have taken shelter of the pure devotee, you don't have to worry whether it is Sadhana Siddha or Kripa Siddha route we are going. Doesn't matter. In the ultimate end, we perfect our spiritual life. So therefore, then we can properly relish these pastimes when we perfect our spiritual life and purify. Otherwise, we should not relate all of these pastimes with mundane comparisons. We compare all these things with our mundane experience. That is the problem here. Why I spoke so much as purification is because without purification, even if you read Mother Yashoda is dealing with Krishna, you will all immediately relate all those dealings with another mother in this world, with their children. So completely the spiritual essence is lost there. And we can also relate what we see in this world. That's another problem we have. Therefore, the procedure in studying Veda or Vedic literature, including Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, the procedure is you study the book directly as it describes, not with comparative study of this world. Don't do that. Sometimes the Acharya gives example pertaining to this world for a better understanding. But don't think both are same. That mistake let us not do. That mistake let us not do. Just like your mother also might have put you in a room, locked you up in a room. See? Yashodanu ange madidare. Mother Yashoda did the same thing. Don't say did the same thing. The did the same thing is the trap. Don't link like that at all. You relish the pastimes of the Lord independently. Your material life is different. Krishna's life with his devotees or devotee life with Krishna is different. There is no mix up of both the things. Absolutely. Then you study. We will benefit. Don't try to compare. It may become an offense to both the Lord and the Lord's devotee. Bringing them to mundane platform. Offense is bringing transcendental leelas to mundane platform. That is the offense. That is the offense here. So then we relish it very nicely. If we understand like this, then there is no issue. If you have a proper Acharya, then you may wonder, Prabhu, then we are also sadhakas, why are we discussing? No. If you are guided by the Acharya properly, without making these offenses and mistakes, then you can read. Therefore, we recommend, sometimes the question comes, last point, the question comes, Prabhu, but Krishna book also we sell, Rasa Leela is there. These leelas are there in the 10th canto, summary, Krishna book. How can we sell? Chaitanya Charitamrita, left, right, we are selling. At India, it is less. In the foreign devotees, left, right, center, they distribute Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. And Bhagavatam sets. Left, right, center, they distribute. So problem, no? No problem. Because even if they read, suppose straight away they'll take Rasa Leela chapter. But from Prabhupada, they are safe. Because Prabhupada everywhere cautiously explains all the pastimes. Even if they open up the chapter of Rasa Leela or Mother Yashoda binding Krishna directly or Krishna stealing butter directly, it's completely safe. Completely safe. It's a foolproof system. Every translation, every purport, Prabhupada has made it foolproof. Amazing it is. You read, you will figure out that. It's a special blessing. That's why Acharya's translation purports are of prime importance. Not simply reading Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. You will miss out so many things. So then, even if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita straight away, suppose we do book distribution, straight away we sell Chaitanya Charitamrita, we sell. And here we are saying read beyond birth and death. Why are you reading Chaitanya Charitamrita? And we are selling nectar of devotion left, right, center. And even ISKCON devotees who are temple devotees also we tell don't read nectar of devotion. And they're outsider left, right, we are giving nectar of devotion, selling left, right. And very, very special pastimes are there in nectar of devotion. What is this? No harm, no worry, no risk, no danger. Because Prabhupada very carefully explains the mood, the approach, everything. He's such an expert master. So therefore, then in that sense it is okay. But if you want to systematically study, then go through the procedure. Then we can relish these pastimes properly. So because we are reading from Bhagavatam written by the Acharya, therefore we are allowed to discuss. Why we are discussing Yashoda Leela and Radha Krishna too? Later we will see Radha Krishna Leela. Because even the precautions we are taking in reading, then it's okay. And we have the proper mood toward the Acharya and Krishna. See? The proper mood. We don't disrespect. And we don't go into Sahajiyism. That's another subject, maybe I'll explain another time. There are 13 types of Sahajiyism. That means 13 types of deviations as pointed out by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in spiritual life. Even in following sadhana process, everything, 13 deviations, apasampradayas have erupted soon after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So very risky. You will not even sense, everything looks to be very spiritual. They're all devotees, putting tilak, kantimala, Vaishnav dress, everything is there. But according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they're all deviated from the sampradaya. Maybe sometime later time permits we'll discuss 13 upper sampradayas are there. But we are very fortunate, we are strictly following Prabhupada. That's why, so please stick on to the Acharya sincerely. Then we will progress very nicely. So I'll stop here. So Tuesday, that is day after tomorrow, 3rd of March 2026, we have the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Sri Gaura Purnima Festival. So morning 6:30 a.m. sharp from our temple, we'll have Nagar Sankirtan as we do every year. Nearby the temple areas we will cover doing Nagar Sankirtan. So we invite all the devotees to come in big numbers and let's do Sankirtana for the benefit of all the other residents. And the evening program will be from 7:45 p.m. With Abhishekam, Kirtana, Arati and Prasadam for all. Little delayed because there is Grahana on that day. Interestingly, 500 years back when Lord Chaitanya appeared, there was Chandra Grahan. And this time, during the Lord Chaitanya's appearance, the same Chandra Grahan is there during Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So it's very special, Gaura Purnima. So 3:20 p.m. to 6:47 p.m. for Mysore timings. The Grahana period is. So devotees are, what are we supposed to do? Devotees are supposed to chant, either do japa or do Sankirtan or hear Prabhupada's lecture or read Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam. The 4 activities possible. But one activity is itself is prohibited called taking prasadam. That's not allowed. So, not desirable. For us, not for Krishna. Krishna can take prasadam anytime. But we cannot take prasadam during Grahana because Rahu will fight with us. So I'll tell that story sometime you can meet me. So 3:20 to 6:47 is the Sutka period. So please don't eat anything 3 hours before the Grahana begins. That means by 12 noon you should have finished your lunch that day to be safe. Otherwise it's very inauspicious, even very bad for the health also. If some food is there in the body, undigested food is there, not very auspicious, not very good for the health also. So 6:47, after the Grahana, we should take head bath, irrespective of the ashrama. Whether you are ISKCON follower or nothing to do with that, you are serious follower, nothing to do with that. Every human being should do this. So take a bath, complete head bath, and wash your used clothes during Grahana and put on fresh clothes. And then you come to the temple for Abhishek. That's why you're given 1 hour time. 6:45 to 7:45 we are given 1 hour time so that you can come prepare taking bath, and put fresh clothes, put tilak and come. And we'll have the evening program 7:45 onwards of the Gaurav Purnima celebration. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.